Hello, students. This lecture is on two types of unclear pronoun reference. All right, so the first one we want to talk about is ambiguous pronoun reference. If a pronoun is ambiguous, that means that that pronoun could be referring to at least and usually is just two nearby nouns. Could be more than two, but usually it's just two. Okay, here's an example. When the Cavaliers faced the Saints, they had the home court advantage. All right, are we in fact saying the Cavaliers had the home court advantage or the Saints had the home court advantage? Well, technically, the way this sentence is written, we are saying the Saints did, okay, because they is closer to the word saints. But even if we take that assumption, it's still not 100% clear. And remember, when you are writing, unlike when you are speaking, all the reader has to go on are your words. There are no facial expressions. I miss those from you guys so much. There are no verbal intonations, like hopefully you're hearing from me now. There's nothing but the words on the page. Okay? So, you must be very clear in your writing. So, a clearer way to say the sentence would be, the Cavaliers had the home court advantage when they faced the Saints. The only word that comes before they that they could refer to in this sentence is Cavaliers. And then we have this word Saints after it. So, should be crystal clear, that sentence. Okay? All right. One more example of ambiguous pronoun reference and how to correct it will be on the next slide. So go to that. Abby told Cassandra that she had forgotten some of her rules. Okay? So is Abby saying, Cassandra, you forgot some of your rules, or is she saying, Cassandra, I forgot some of my rules? Well, we don't know, okay? So word it so that it is clear. You could use quotes for this, all right? Abby told Cassandra, quotes, I have forgotten some of my rules. Or, if you mean the other, Abby told Cassandra, quotes, you have forgotten some of your rules. All right? So sometimes, in a case like what we have here, it's best just to use quotes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's best just to reword it carefully, as we saw in the first example. All right, the other type is on the next slide, so here we go. The other type of unclear reference for our section is what we call remote reference. This is when a pronoun is too far away from the noun that pronoun is supposed to rename. Okay? So, what do you use a remote for at home? We've done this before. We've talked about this before, okay, in previous years. We've talked, and I ask that question, and I get a good answer usually, okay? We use a remote to turn on things that are too far away. If you have a TV, you don't want to get up off your butt to change the channel or even to turn it on. You have the remote handy. You push that button, whatever it is, to change the channel or turn it on, or turn it off for that matter. And the remote does the work for you because the object that you want to fool with is too far away. If we have remote reference in our writing in English, the pronoun that we use is too far away. The noun, okay, let's start that over. If we have remote reference in our English writing, we have used a pronoun that is too far away from the noun that it is referring to. Okay? So, look at this next example. I have been watching a show called Family Matters. One of the main characters is Steve Urkel. He always makes messes. It is so funny. Okay, the problem here is the word it. What is it referring to? Well, if you read back and go over it carefully, you probably would say that it is referring to the show. At least I hope that's what you would say it was referring to. Because if you're referring to the fact, you think it's referring to the fact that he always makes messes, you've got another pronoun problem, which we will talk about in the next day or two, okay? But for remote reference, our problem is it is like 3 sentences away from the word that it is referring to, which is show, or possibly Family Matters, which renames show. Okay, so either way. So, we need to fix this, right? How far away, by the way, we've talked about this again before, is too far away for a pronoun to refer to the noun that it is renaming? Well, guess what? In English, there is no exact rule for how far away it is. Mrs. Shoemate says no more than 1 sentence before. So if you use a word like it or she or he or whatever, the word that it is referring to should be no farther away than the sentence before the pronoun use. Sometimes even that may be too far away. If you have really long sentences, 1 sentence away may be too far away. Again, it's up to you, the writer, to make sure your writing is clear. So let's look at how to make this remote reference problem clear on the next slide. I have been watching a show called Family Matters. One of the main characters is Steve Urkel. He is always making messes. The program, not it, the program is really funny. And please note that I did use the words the program instead of just renaming Family Matters or reusing the word show. Now, I will give you that if you cannot think of a synonym to replace the pronoun that is remote and too far away, then by all means you reuse the noun that you already used. You say, well, that's redundant, Miss Shoemate. That's why we use pronouns. Yes, but it is better to be redundant, as we've talked about before. It is better to be redundant and use the same words than it is to be unclear. Okay? So best case scenario, you use a synonym. If you don't have one, if you absolutely rack your brain and can't think of one, reuse the original noun rather than being unclear with your pronoun, being too far away in your reference, okay? As always, I love you guys, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me /message me on LMS. By the way, you don't have to message me on the wall where everybody can see it. Most of you realize this, but I think a few of you may still be unclear on this. If you have a question and you want to ask on LMS, there's a little message icon up at the top right of the main page. Click on it. Okay, I think it's actually not just on the main page. I think it's on any page you click on pretty much. Okay, top right message icon, click on it and type in Melissa Shoemate. Click on my name, send me a personal message. That way, if you don't want the whole class to know that you have a question, you don't have to put it on the wall of the class itself. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.